Let's go, let's go, let's go. What's up, what's up? How's everybody doing? Let's go. I just did a fantasy football draft. I'm just let some people get in here and tweet the link out and stuff. It'll be good. All right. Let me just make one more post. All right. How are you looking? Check out the news. I'll pull this up. We'll get it going. All right. Yo, I got you, bro. Of course. Appreciate that. I love seeing comments like that. Just to be able to influence in any way, help people work closer towards financial freedom, work closer towards building the skill set of being profitable is a blessing. It makes me feel purposeful. Like, I love doing this stuff. That's why I also do so much for free, right? Of course, there's a business aspect to it, but I really like to give a lot of my time away for free because I love helping. I genuinely love that, man. So appreciate those words. What's up? What's up? Wisdom, what's up, man? How's everybody doing? How's everybody's weekend? God bless, bro. I appreciate that. God bless you too. All right, let's look at this calendar. Let me just take a sip of my tea. So off the bat, I can already tell looking at this calendar that we have a lack of news this week. Usually we have a lot more news, more volatility, but looking at this week, there is a lack of red folders that I'm seeing on the screen right now. So Monday, we have a British pound bank holiday. There's also no news for any other currency. And so what we always say about Mondays with no news is that they're usually lower probability, likely to consolidate. So I want to be hesitant on Monday. I want to, be extremely skeptical and picky with price on Monday. So on these days that lack news, on these days that don't have red folder, you want to be more demanding of price. And turn this down a little bit. Yo. What's up, Marius? Let me know if I'm pronouncing that. Pronouncing that right. Is it Marius or Marius? Tuesday we have Tuesday we have red folder on US dollar and Australian dollar. Marius. I think Marius was the first one I said. Alright, cool, I got you. Cryptic Lance, what's up, bro? So Monday, no news, likely a dud, likely a lack of, volatility and expansion, which inherently makes it lower probability. Tuesday, we have US dollar consumer confidence red folder, as well as Australian dollar red folder. And so on Tuesday, anything USD correlated is very valid to me, as well as Australian dollar currencies or crosses would be valid trade intraday. There should be news, especially with AUD CPI on that day. So those two are valid on Tuesday. Wednesday is a dud for everything. We have no news. We can still move. It's all probabilities, but it's looking like Wednesday could be a lack of expansion as well. Then Euro, we have red folder on Thursday, and USD, we have red folder on Thursday. Friday, we have Euro, CAD, and then USD. So these are the days that you want to be expecting to take trades. These are the days that you want to be expecting expansion from price. And so just by using this as your roadmap going into every week, you're adding a little bit of edge to the sword. You're sharpening the sword a little bit, right? So just understanding what days you're likely to execute, what days you're not. And the thing is, if you know, obviously you never know, but if you have a good idea that a day is going to be terrible, in the future, this is just something cool about it. When you're full-time trading and you can, do whatever, and you know that a day is going to be low probability, you can just plan something for the day. Go to the beach, go do something on that day. If you know that there's a really good chance it's going to be sloppy, then just take the day off. And so using the economic calendar as your roadmap is just a cheat code. But yeah, so a lack of news this week, but I do think that we can still move. And these are the days that I'm going to be trading. The days with red folder are the days that I want to be putting on trades mainly, because that's where we're going to be expanding. That's where we're going to get higher probability delivery. So like always, nothing changes. We start with dollar. We always start with dollar. It's the world currency. And we start on the monthly time frame. So it looks like we have taken this monthly sell side, which is interesting because I always talk about this. Anytime we take a major premium or discount array on the monthly, weekly, we want to take a step back and then read the lower time frame order flow and see if we want to actually set up a retracement now. If that's not the case and we just expand through, then perhaps we just get continued bearish dollar. But you really want to take a little step back when these major premium arrays get taken, major discount arrays, and then gauge whether or not this candle is expanding through or sweeping it. So respect or disrespect of this discount array, this sell side right here. And so there's not much to see on this monthly. Clear expansion lower. Going to be gaps on the weekly and daily towards this sell side, that monthly discount array. And so now we're just gauging whether price wants to sweep this and retrace potentially this week, or if it just wants to expand through. But that was a very, very clear draw on dollar. Not much to see here on the weekly in terms of, marking things out. Took out the major sell side on the monthly, and so I'd really just be reading the daily and 4-hour order flow to see whether or not we want to, like I said, retrace here from this sell side. So we could potentially get a retracement towards here. But dollar's in the middle. I'm in the middle on dollar. Long story short, I would just be waiting for more information on dollar, because after sweeping the sell side, like I said, not to be a broken record, but I need to gauge whether or not we expand through that sell side, or if we're going to sweep and shift order flow on the 4 hour, 1 hour, etc. If that's the case and we shift bullish here, then perhaps we are setting up a retracement on the higher time frames. And so that's my opinion on dollar right now. Nice and simple, right? So dollar doesn't feel that clear to me, long story short. I need more information. I need to see more order flow. I need to see what the candlesticks say about this major monthly sell side, premium array, discount array, and we'll see whether we want to retrace or just expand lower. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at with dollar. AUD swept the monthly sell side, is now looking for this previous candle high, this monthly buy side up here. Weekly gap down here, this is a breakaway gap. Why is this likely a breakaway gap? Well, look at how this candle closed. Look at how the third candle expanded strong. There's nothing here that is indicating a retest of this, and you would not want to see that deep of a retracement to this gap to trade towards this buy side. At this point, because we're so close, we should go straight to that buy side. Internal to external on the daily played out. Now we have this new area fair value here on the daily. And so this could be nice for longs. I'll add it to the wait list, because right now there isn't clear context, but there's a clear draw to that buy side. Yeah, I'll look at EU. I'm basically going to be looking at EU when I look at 6E. 6E and 6B are just EU and GU essentially. Monthly bullish order flow. Weekly, this is our area for value. So if we're going to head higher, you want to see us head higher from here. And it looks like we're just probably going to create another gap. Pound has been very bullish. There's not clear context here though. I'll wait for potential daily context to add to the wait list. But yeah, it really comes down to what dollar says on the lower time frames with the order flow. Because dollar, in the direction of dollar, is going to dictate how I feel about these major currencies. Took the buy side, expanding through it. Daily doesn't have a context yet. Catch stronger than AUD. I don't know. It's tough to say. I think AUD looks stronger. They're not correlated though, so it's kind of tough to look at this. And they're both just very strong. It's like splitting hairs. Trying to decide which one's stronger on that. It's not very clear. Put this. There's not much analysis here. There's not much for me to say about these currencies, right? We're expanding, extremely bullish last week because we had such a bearish dollar. But it really comes down to the direction of dollar for me on how I'm going to approach these. Potentially this buy side on euro. Weekly, no context. Daily isn't going to have context either. So the draw to me looks clear as buy side, but there's just no context again. So we'll add it to the wait list and see if it creates daily context. But right now there's just nothing. Everything's been bullish in terms of currencies though, with bearish dollar. Yeah, exactly. Monday will likely be consolidation. It can set up a lot of daily for value gaps for context, which is why I want to be putting these on the wait list to see if they create them. But I definitely agree. Weekly internal to external on yen. We have this context. But again, it's just weird with the clearly monthly bearish order flow, this order block area for value. Can kind of see this going either way. I've been 50-50 on yen for a little bit just because of the higher time frame. Depends on dollar again. So if we get bearish dollar, then we're probably going to trade towards this buy side. Side favor longs. Do you do these weekly forecasts each Sunday? Yes, I do. Every single Sunday. Usually at 12, but today I had some stuff going on, so I couldn't do it until now. But every single Sunday I do a forecast like this. And I run through pretty much every asset class. Forex, indices, commodities. Sometimes I'll look at crypto if people ask, but I'm not a big crypto guy. I don't really look at it too much. So we hunt this sell side. Expanding through. No context here to operate off of, but again, could set up context. Need to understand where dollar's going if I'm going to trade these majors. Weekly internal to external, so we do have context here on CHF. Daily gap down here. On 4 hours expanding, set up this area here. Interesting. I'll add that to the long list. Again, we need to confirm with bearish dollar though if we're going to be longing anything. In terms of the majors, we need to confirm that with bearish dollar. Monthly chop, weekly, not the cleanest in terms of this, but we are expanding. We swept the sell side. Now we're expanding towards this buy side that we actually just took. And so everything is a bit wonky to me right now, where I just need to wait on dollar. That's the theme for me, at least. What I'm seeing is I want to wait for more price action to get an understanding of what dollar wants. But yeah, these are any analysis on these 6A, 6B, whatever is going to be the same thing on majors. Can you open AUD futures again? I want to ask you. It took sell side, so why? So don't we wait euro to IRL? Are we? Can you open AUD futures again? Wait, let me look at it. I'm not understanding. It took the sell side. Where did it take sell side? Down here? I'm not understanding you, bro. So we took sell side, so don't we wait euro to I? It already traded towards internal. Of this range, we swept external sell side, right? It took this, it took this external. Then we started trading towards internal right here. This is our internal range, right? So we're offering fair value. We're trading higher, offering fair value, offering internal. But then we failed to head lower off that area of fair value because of the bearish dollar and expand through that area of fair value. So now we're looking at this opposing liquidity. So now we're looking at this external because we failed to offer fair value. So now we're seeking this opposing liquidity. So this move from here to there was internal. Now that we're failing to head lower from internal, you look for this opposing liquidity, this buy side, this external. All right, let's look at the crosses. It's tough because with right now, like everything's just bullish. So not the nicest in terms of the crosses in Forex. On Dixie, I thought we shall wait for, yeah, exactly. Tomorrow we don't have news, so you really don't want to be trading tomorrow on dollar or anything really. We have this third candle setting up tomorrow. Likely we'll create a fair value gap here, and then we will either expand lower off of that, or we're going to disrespect it and retrace more on the higher time frame. Those are the two things that I'm expecting. Monthly internal to external. to this buy side. This has context for longs, UYen and UCHF. Just got to confirm that dollar is clearly still selling off. That's what I would want before I start trading majors. AUDCHF, swept that sell side, retrace towards this weekly gap. I still be watching this internal area here. We'll see if it wants this gap. I don't really like crosses right now, not gonna lie. AUD, yen. Straight chop on the daily 4 hour. Not what you want to see, but I feel like they're engineering liquidity to drop this potentially. Yeah, these crosses do not feel clear to me at all. You know, if I don't understand what dollar's doing, then it just makes everything bleh. But everything was strong last week, obviously, because of our clear expansion on dollar. Now we're just at that point where I need to see what happens. It's really just waiting for me. Weekly internal to external here. I don't like trading these correlation pairs. I'm not a fan of trading EG or AN personally. This looks like it wants lower from the weekly gap. 4 hour sell model. You can add it to the short list if you want to trade it. I won't trade that. I won't touch it. So I'll add it for you guys, I guess. Oops. Monthly sell side, weekly. Internal to external potentially can head lower from here on CAD CHF. Be watching this 4 hour shifted. Yeah, we talked about CAD CHF last week. Daily gap here. I don't know if we want to trade into it or not. We could definitely still trade into that daily gap. This looks good for shorts, so I like CAD CHF shorts. But again, I don't really like crosses in general right now. Weekly internal to external CAD yen, kind of sloppy. Yeah, just chop, really choppy. Should go lower. We'll add it to the shorts, but really sloppy. Monthly sell side, weekly gap here. Engineered liquidity for lower. This buy side sweep is crazy. This candle is just insane. Like, that is an insane candle weekly. A lot of these sweeps are pretty crazy. Weekly gap here. Euro GBP POV. Monthly bullish order flow. Weekly internal to external. I like this for longs. If you have a weekly internal to external in the 4 hours consolidation, you wait for gaps. Don't wait for a break of structure. Wait for Well, I mean, you're gonna get a break of structure when you get the gap, but for me, it's way simpler to just wait for value gaps. So you're waiting for a clear expansion out of that consolidation. Is the point that is important to understand. So that's what you'll get with a break of structure, yeah. But it's really just the gaps. Weekly, internal. Daily hasn't really had a convincing shift here. The 4 hours bearish. Euro GBP. This is just gross, bro. These candles are just so wicky and sloppy. I don't like this at all. This is why I don't touch Euro GBP or AUD NZD personally. I'm good on this. I don't like trading those correlated pairs. Pull back on the monthly. Weekly internal to external potential. Sloppy. I just don't like I really don't like where Forex is at right now. If anything, if we can get continued bearish dollar, then just focus on the majors. Monthly buy side sweep back into the range. Weekly gap hasn't followed through. Do you use USDC? I don't even use SMT, bro. I don't use SMT. I don't need it. Bullish fair value gap, failing to deliver price higher. I don't expect this to hold. Yeah, I wouldn't expect this to hold. Sloppy all around. Just not what you want to see from the Forex class right now. Daily, weekly. Yeah, I don't like any of this. There's nothing here that like is clearly high probability to me. We were looking at longs on GCAD. We called this out in the last forecast last week. From internal to external, GBP CAD longs played out really nicely. Daily, no gaps, 4 hour. Now we've swept this monthly buy side. So I want to gauge how our reaction, the exact same thing that I was talking about on dollar. When we take these major discount or premium arrays, you want to take a step back and gauge how price trades through them, if they sweep or if they respect. Monthly sweep here. This wick is insane, bro. Crazy wick. Weekly internal to external GBP CHF. Pound has been so bullish though. Just don't like any of this. Hi from Venezuela. What's up? What's up? What's up? Monthly bullish order flow. Weekly bearish fair value gap here. Strong shift. Sloppy. Daily's gonna be chopped. Yep. Tough. Yeah, if you guys can't tell, I just don't like how things look right now. Monthly bullish order flow. We have this order block here. Potentially set higher, send price higher. Daily gap not following through off this monthly. Not convinced on this either. Low probability conditions across the board in the Forex world right now. NZD CAD. Daily gap. Could potentially set up new context here. We'll add it to the wait list for longs potentially once we set up that daily gap. NZD CHF has this weekly gap we're in. We're not delivering lower from yet. New Zealand dollar yen. Weekly gap as well, I'm assuming. But we got a strong close through it and we're not falling through lower from it. Pretty sus. Indices, monthly bullish order flow, right? Very clearly bullish order flow on the monthly. We pulled back into this order block. Order block is clearly being respected by price. So I'd be looking at all-time highs as the next draw right here. This monthly buy side to me looks like a very clear draw. Weekly gap here. Daily area of fair value is holding. All called out in the live trading streams throughout the week for you guys. You know, you've been calling out indices every single day. Yeah, so we do those live trading streams in the Discord like 3 times a week. We've been calling this out. Daily area of fair value. So now we're looking at this buy side. It's the next draw. We're already very close to it. I think this was that FOMC meeting minutes wick, if I recall correctly. I might be wrong. That might not have been it. I can't really remember. My brain's cooked right now. 4-hour daily. Looking for longs on indices. Same thing with NQ, although it looks a bit weaker based on this candle close through the gap. We'll see if we want to retest this weekly gap or just expand. We might outright just expand and create another breakaway gap. But bullish on the indices for sure. For sure. Monthly. Looking at this potentially sell side. Weekly internal to external context here. Daily gap got closed through, which is interesting. So we're just disrespecting it. So crude oil feels a bit sus right now. With this expansion higher, I would want to see, you know, the lower time frame order flow get back in line if we're going to be lower. We're going to see lower prices. I'll add to the wait list, but I don't really like it. Monthly bullish order flow. Weekly consolidation set up this gap. Daily's expanding higher. We might just straight up expand higher off this daily gap towards the buy side. Gold longs look good. Potentially here. Silver trading into this weekly gap. We're not falling through lower. With the bullish gold, this would make sense. Looking at this buy side potentially. Yeah, I'm looking for longs on the metals. Just tuned in. Can you look at the Discord question? Let me look at it. Yeah, I told you I would answer that. Let me go back and look. Let me see. Yeah, you could take a swing potentially if the stop makes sense. If the stop makes sense, though, the stop's got to make sense. There are a few Forex pairs that are setting up monthly fair value gaps with just 1 week of trading. For example, I don't see euro yen. Yeah, these monthly gaps are being created for sure. 5 days, so at the end of this week we'll have those monthly SIBIs get created. I don't see euro yen closing a gap of 600 pips in the coming week. However, the weekly or daily may set up a bearish swing idea this week. Is that something you would look into account? Just overall, I think that crosses in general are just lower probability, so these could fall through lower, but it's just conflicting arguments. You know, it's not something that you want to see when we're setting up this monthly SIBI up here to potentially trade into and head lower off of. And we have this weekly gap that we could maybe fall through lower off of, but I would more so expect, with the way that crosses and everything looks right now, that we just set up that monthly gap. And, you know, I would favor that this just is consolidation. We're probably gonna mess around, and this is why I've been saying the whole stream, like, I really don't like crosses. I don't think that Forex looks good right now, and you know, the consolidation candle being set up on the monthly just makes a lot of sense to set up these gaps. But you can just see on the lower time frames how sloppy this looks. So I'd usually stay away from crosses on a week like this, let it play out, and set up that monthly candle. Best thing would be to avoid yen pairs for some time. Yeah, I'm just avoiding crosses at this time personally. Overall, just the entire, you know, Forex class just looks meh. I'm not a big fan of anything right now in terms of the Forex, but this is what we're looking like right now. But majors are just running. Yeah, if you're gonna be trading something, like I said before, you would want to be trading majors, especially last week. When you have a clear expanding dollar, when you have dollar that's very, very clear, trading lower like last week, that's when you want to put your focus on majors. I wouldn't even be touching crosses on those weeks. But now we just took that sell side, that draw on liquidity, and so now we need to wait and see what dollar is saying, because dollar might just expand through it. We might just end up following through lower from it, or it's going to set up a retest here. We're going to start retracing. And so you need to gauge the lower time frame order flow on dollar, but dollar's the defining factor here. But yeah, crosses just look meh, and like you said, everything is setting up these monthly gaps. So I wouldn't really expect them to just start dying this week and then create a monthly breakaway gap. That would be surprising to me personally. You always want to be anticipating this gap to get formed, and then a potential retest of it. Euro AUD swept this monthly buy side. Yeah, it's just bad market conditions right now for Forex. That's all it is. Sloppy market conditions. Monthly buy side swept, weekly is trading into this gap here, but just don't love it. Daily shifting bearish here, this order flow, selling off. Just stay away from crosses is my advice. Market conditions are terrible. Put your focus on indices right now. Maybe some gold going into the week is where I would, you know, have my eyes. That's where you'll see me putting my focus this week. Then just kind of gauging dollar, understanding what dollar's intention is, if it's going to just expand through the sell side or not. Like I said, you know, I've said it multiple times, but that's just very, very important to understand. But yeah, definitely a long waiting game for sure. Sloppy market conditions. You have to know when to press the gas and when not to. I actually just made a Twitter thread about that, and just understanding when to trade and when not to. That's so important. Definitely looking for long side indices this week. Just need to gauge whether or not we're going to trade into that weekly gap or not. We might just expand. Do we have 4-hour gaps? We do have 4-hour gaps. Interesting. Crude oil looked really confusing to me right now because we have this chop on the monthly. We have weekly. Not really following through lower. After a nice move lower earlier in the week, we just got a crazy retracement towards this daily gap. Now the daily gap's not falling through lower, so just not the best conditions here in crude oil, but it's moving. We'll see if it follows through lower. Right now the 4-hour order flow is bullish. I might just be back testing. I would look at indices if I'm you. Live trade indices this week. It'll be good practice. Yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 on crudo right now. Can I use Forex prop firm accounts for indices? Yeah, you just wouldn't be trading futures. You'd be trading the CFDs. So it'd be like US 100 and US 500. That's so weird that you can't even trade the CFD on indices. That's weird. You should be able to. Yeah, I like gold. Gold looks pretty good. I'll be looking for long soft gold this week. Indices and gold. Only things I really like. Honestly. I put some of these on the short list. I really don't like them. I don't like crosses. I just... Internal to external looks nice here on AUD and ZD. Just nothing is too high probability right now, which is the reality of trading. There's going to be weeks when you show up to the market and market conditions are just clearly bad, and those are the weeks when you want to protect capital. You want to make sure that you don't go into drawdown because it's just unnecessary loss. You know, when you understand that the conditions are terrible, it's just unnecessary losses that you're taking. I don't trade US 100 or 500 because I don't trade CFDs. I just trade the futures. I'm from the US on New York time. Yeah, I can trade futures with no issues. Futures also have tax benefits for US based traders. The 60-40 tax benefits. They have really good spreads. There isn't spreads. Like there's really no spreads on futures. They're just laser fills. Whereas like Forex, CFDs, they have spreads that you have to deal with. So futures all around are just amazing. AUD, NZD, CAD, and NZD, USD are high probability. They're alright. I don't know about high probability. Nothing to me is high. It's subjective, I guess, but nothing to me looks high probability. That is kind of subjective, though. So, to each their own. If dollar clears up and you have a clear draw on dollar, then yeah. What broker can I use to trade futures? I don't know where you're from. If it allows you, I think you said you're from South Africa. I don't know if you're allowed to even trade futures or not. I don't understand all those rules in different countries. Like I don't know who's allowed and who's not, but you could just use a prop firm if you're allowed to use prop firms and from where you're at. Use like Apex or MyFunded Futures, and then you'll be using NinjaTrader to trade the futures, or Tradeovate. It's going to be Rhythmic or Tradeovate for futures. You can trade futures? Alright then. I would use a prop firm. I would use a prop firm and then I don't know what's going on with my stream right now. It's like dying. Yeah, I would use a prop firm and then you'd either use Tradeovate or Rhythmic. My stream's dying right now, showing a bunch of drop frames. Yeah, you're not going to be able to use them, so you'd have to just rock with the CFDs, unfortunately. I can't go prop yet. Then use a demo. Just paper trade demo. Go into TradingView go to the futures and just paper trade. Paper trade the futures contracts, ES and IQ. My stream's bugging right now. Let me see if this stream is working still. Check. I'm trying to see if this. Yo, my internet's bugging. Can you guys still hear me? It's tough. I don't know why my internet's doing this, man. I think we're good, but it's showing a bunch of drop frames on my end. Yeah, I would just do that, Marius. Consistently show up, trade ES and IQ. Just paper trade it, see how you do. Practice the soless model. Collect data on soless and just focus on actually managing the risk and scaling the paper trading account. Just consistently trade that. Yeah, futures prop firms are different. They have monthly fee. They're cheaper up front, but they have a monthly recurring fee. Futures are good though. I really like them personally. I've used both. I've traded pretty much everything that you can think of. Any instrument. I've traded options. I've traded shares. I've traded futures. I've traded Forex. And if I had to pick one, I would pick futures. They have laser fills, especially for intraday. Futures are a lot better because no spreads. As soon as the limit order gets hit, you're filled. So it's just beautiful fills. Soless model. I use unicorn entries. Yes. Soless is the model that I personally trade every single day, 8 to 12. I teach it in the curriculum. But if you guys want to join and just live trade with me or join the premium and just use a free trial, if you guys don't like it after a week, then you just cancel. So if you want to do that, I'll send the link. But yeah, I teach Soless in the premium Trading Patiently Academy, and then we're doing a free trial thing now where you guys can just test it out. And then if you don't like it after a week, then just cancel. But yeah, Soless is my favorite model. That's my baby. Soless is basically the model that I built after years of trading. Like, just a perfect model in my opinion. Obviously nobody's perfect, but to me it's about as damn near as perfect of a model as I can get. I made it for myself, and obviously I want to share it with other people. I think that they'll find it very, very valuable as well. But for me, it's just perfect for what I do, because I'm on the East Coast, New York time, so I'm trading 8 to 12. I make my money, I trade Soless, I go on with my day. It's just beautiful. But yeah, there's the full video. There's like a 40, I think it's like a 30 or 40 minute video on the curriculum about Soless. But yeah, if you guys want to check out the premium stuff, Private Academy, Trading Patiently Academy, there's a free trial. You guys can check that out. That's the link right there. I'm watching Mark Douglas videos on YouTube. What can you actively do to work on your psychology? That's a good question. I think it's just being mindful. I think it's every single day, like during, like what you can do, Gunner, is watch the content, binge the content, but actually make sure that you're applying it. And then every single day, before, during, and after trading, during trades. So before trading, during your trades, and then after trading, document your psychology. Apply the things that he's teaching. Make sure that you actually burn that into your brain, because it's one thing just watching his stuff, right? You can just watch it, but it's not going to actually be use if you don't apply it. It's not going to be of use unless you apply it. So you want to make sure that you really burn that in. Like I absolutely hammered psychology in to my trading at the beginning of the career, and it's like, honestly, I'm so grateful I did that and focused on it, because now I just don't have issues with psychology. It also just comes from your relationship with money, and it comes from making sure that you have other things that you can, provide for yourself with. Because I was talking to another student on Discord, I'm not sure if she's in here, but basically explaining to her that if she has this need for money, like if she feels this need to provide off of trading and make X amount per week or X amount per month to provide, it's the money's gonna run from her. Like the more that you detach from needing to make money, the better, because then you can just submit to the system and adhere to the model. So Gunnar, the best advice I can give you is study the Mark Douglas stuff, make sure that you actually apply it, note your psychology before, during, and after trading, and just focus on, I don't know if you're trading soless or what model you're trading, but focus on consistent adherence to the system. Focus on your performance, because at the end of the day, I can give you my models, I can give you the best model in the world at that, whatever it is, right? But if you can't consistently adhere to it and you can't dial in your psychology and apply the things from Mark Douglas, then it's gonna be dulled and it's not gonna be profitable. So people always think, oh, it's the strategy, oh, I need a new strategy, I need a new concept, but the reality is it's them, it's not the strategy. But yeah, Mark Douglas is a GOAT, literally my favorite psychology mentor. I consider him a psychology mentor. And then Brett Steenbarger, a really, really good psychology guy too. I've read both their most popular books, The Daily Trading Coach and then Trading in the Zone. Great books. But yeah, if you guys have any final questions, let me know. Other than that, I think that's really it. I mean, it's a quicker forecast because Forex just looks like cheeks. So I'll be steering clear, focusing on indices and gold. That's all I'm really focused on with my soless model anyway. But yeah, I'm excited to just continue to grow with everyone that's in the community, continue to grow as a person, as a trader, and it's only up from here. So can you share some stuff from Mark Douglas on Discord? Yeah, I'm gonna fill out a whole psychology section within the Discord. I haven't finished it yet. But I'll have a full psychology portion with Mark Douglas stuff in there. Can you look at NQ again? Yeah, I'm bullish on indices. I'm bullish on the S&P and NASDAQ. We're respecting this monthly bullish order block here. Clear wick, the daily order flow had shifted bullish. The weekly set up this weekly gap. So I want to see on the lower time frames whether we're just going to expand and create this breakaway gap or retest this weekly gap. But I'm definitely expecting higher prices, and I do think that all-time high may be on the menu for indices. So this daily gap, this overlapping area here, this is what we called out in the live trading last week. You know, this area fair value on ES and NQ. Price offered fair value. Now, if we're going to head higher, we should respect this area and trade higher from here. So I'm bullish on indices, expecting fall through higher. But we want to wait and be cautious on the days that don't have news. So we'll see how tomorrow looks on indices, but there is no news. That's not to say that we can't expand, we can't trade towards this buy side, but potentially this 1 hour gap could send it higher towards this buy side. We'll see. But definitely bullish on indices. It feels pretty clear to me. But yeah, I think that's it for the forecast. I hope that you guys had a great weekend. We're able to decompress from the markets, and then I would encourage you all to this week detach from the money, detach from the outcome of your trades, and just focus on your execution, focus on your performance. If you can consistently just lock in and adhere to your system, adhere to the trading, even on losing streaks, even on whatever, you're going to see that the results follow. Because at the end of the day, once you have the edge, once you have the strategy, it's on you as a trader. The edge is only as sharp as its operator. And so all your focus, once you have the edge, once you have the way to view price, whatever, needs to be on you. Like where I'm at with my trading as well, all I focus on is me. All I'm focused on is my performance. So it's all that's relevant to me is how well I'm adhering to the system and to the strategy. It's all that's relevant. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. And I'll see you in the Discord. I'm assuming pretty much everyone's in the free Discord. So we'll see you in there. For the people that are in the premium, I will see you. I'm going to send out the schedule for this week so you guys know what days I'll be live trading. But we'll be live trading in there for sure this week. So I'll send out that weekly schedule today, this afternoon, so you guys know what days I'm live trading. But all right, guys, appreciate you. We will talk very soon.